Alright, so I'm going to do a chicken and mushroom today. Just eking the last bit out of that olive oil. Sense in wasting it. This is something I kind of don't do this very often, but then whenever I do it, I really like it. Garlic maybe as well. Peas, we must remember peas. Just remind me to put peas in. Basically all this is a chicken pie filling, but I'm not going to do a pie, I'm just going to have it with rice. So the previous video I did my chicken stir fry, and I've got my rice from that I'm going to reheat. You're not supposed to do, but I always do it. You could actually do with a few more onions, but I'm only going to make a couple of portions of this. So I got my packet of 3 chicken breasts, and I made a chicken stir fry from it. I've got chicken pieces for this, and then I've marinated the chicken, a couple of pieces. I don't think I showed that. Marinated that chicken, just curry powder. I just took some slices and curry powder and turmeric and some, and tandoori spices in the other. But that's for something else. Just add a wee bit of vegetable oil into that. And all I'm going to do is go fairly small with these mushrooms. Just going to start frying them along with the chicken. So all that is just diced, plain diced chicken breast. Actually cut a wee bit of the tandoori colouring on it, but it doesn't matter. We'll fry them up for something else. But all that is plain diced chicken breast. And some mushrooms. Actually, there's plenty of mushrooms. I don't tend to make pies very often, but this is just the filling for a pie. That to start cooking. Garlic. Yeah, I want a couple of cloves of garlic. Turn it down a wee bit, I don't want too much colour on it. Parsley would be good in this as well, I haven't got any though. scrunching my fingers on the steel of the knife to take the smelly garlic off my fingers. You could use a garlic press, but I never use one. I never really use them. So basically all you're going to do is just gently fry that. I'm not going to put any salt into it. You'll see why in a minute. And all I'm going to do is make a quick white sauce. It's not that much mixture there actually. So yeah, it's only going to be basically 2 portions I'm going to do here. The white sauce, just some butter, some plain flour, and I'm going to whisk it. Actually, because I always forget, just a load of frozen peas. Actually, I won't. I was going to just put them in there, but I won't. I'll put them in a container. Plenty of peas. Maybe just a touch of water in that, just to clean the bottom of the pan a wee bit. Just to lift up any of the sticky bits. So white sauce, just turn it down a wee bit. Just whisking up some butter and some flour to what's supposed to be a sandy texture. And cooking out the flour. You can see it's kind of sizzling away there, so that's cooking the flour nicely. Just controlling the temperature, just kind of lifting it off the temperature a wee bit. That's it. So once it kind of comes together like that, this is the way I do it. I don't know if I'm putting in too much flour or not, but once it kind of comes together in lumps like that, that's when I consider it done, and then start adding in. You're supposed to add hot milk, but as long as you just add a touch of milk and then whisk it, turn the temperature to medium, just a tiny splash of milk, and lift that off the heat a wee bit, it's a wee bit hot. Tiny splash of milk, and make sure that every bit of milk that you put in is whisked through before you add the next. As long as you do that, it shouldn't go lumpy. Clean this. And actually what I want to do is, let's take that off the heat for a second. I want to put a chicken stock cube into this. And there's only 2 portions, I'm just going to put 1 in. I'm going to drop this in just now, and this way it should get whisked through. So there's going to be a lot of whisking going on here. So just another wee touch of milk. And if you feel it's ever going too quickly, if it looks like it's going to go lumpy, that you can't whisk fast enough, just take it off the heat. But yeah, the rule is that you don't put cold milk into a roux, but it's fine as long as you make sure it's all whisked through before you add the next bit in. before, as long as it's all nice and smooth like that before you add the next one, it's fine. And doing it this way, that stock cube should get mixed right through. You always want to make sure that your stock cube is, turn that off now, you always want to make sure your stock cube, if you add it, is definitely dissolved through, because if you get a lump of stock cube in something, like if you were eating this and you were to get that wee lump of stock there, if you can see that, if you were to get that wee lump of stock, that would be really strong, because it's just salt. It would be really strong. So you've got to make sure it's whisked right through. That's why I'm putting it in right at the beginning, so I know it's going to definitely be whisked through. I've got semi-skimmed milk here, but I mean, full fat is better. It's creamier, it's richer, but this is a wee bit healthier. You can use a wooden spoon for this. That's the kind of the sort of proper way to do it. It's a bit messy though. It's right on cue, because you've got to kind of beat it. So I tend to just use a whisk. It's one of these things. It's a skill thing, you know. Can you make up a white sauce using just the wooden spoon? Maybe I'll do that next time. I think I've maybe gone a wee bit too much sauce here, but it's okay. So I've got that on a 3 of 6, so medium heat. You can see it's coming together now, no lumps, nice and smooth. It's done. I'm going to break up these pieces of chicken a wee bit big. So that's just plain boring old chicken breast, fried up with some mushrooms and garlic, and that's all that is. No salt or anything in it, because this will be very salty, I'm pretty sure. Yep, you can immediately taste the salt. We can adjust the seasoning at the end anyway. But basically, yeah, this is just a chicken pie filling, so you could just use this and put some puff pastry on it, bung it in the oven, chicken pie. But I like it just cooked like this and just on top of rice. So because I'm now adding a bit more milk, I'm going to turn the temperature up a wee bit now, but you've got to keep whisking. I'm kind of whisking, that's whisking this top half of the pot. That's why I change, and then I whisk down here to do the bottom half. And I'm really scraping it over the bottom so it doesn't catch anywhere, because this will burn, and if it burns then it's no good. It's knackered. So you just have to keep whisking all the time. Yeah, chicken stock cube gives it a load of flavour. I think we'll call that about there. Could do with a bit more, but be all right. So I've got it up now at 5. I think we'll call that done. Basically, once it starts bubbling, once you kind of bring it up to that boiling point, then you know that it's not going to get any thicker, because this is quite thick at the moment, but I don't know if it's going to get much thicker. But as soon as it starts boiling, which it is now, starting to see a few bubbles coming up, then I know that this is the, yeah, that's fine, we'll call that, that's enough. Grate some nutmeg in it as well. Turn that down a wee bit. As soon as I put the peas in it, it's just going to cool right down. So still no salt going into this. Just a load of nutmeg, and a good pinch of pepper. Now we'll just pop the, I'll just take it off for a second, it's boiling quick. Boiling quite aggressively, and just pop this in. Yeah, maybe not quite enough there. Once you're there, that's done. So you can just let that simmer for a wee second, but it doesn't need to take much cooking because both components are cooked. A load of parsley in that would be really good. I haven't got any though. But that's basically it. That's your chicken pie filling. Pop it in a dish, bit of puff pastry on top, and it would be really good. Or whatever short crust pastry or whatever you fancy, and bake it. But I can't be bothered with that. I just like it on top of some rice. So I've got my breaking all the rules here. I shouldn't be doing this really. But I've got my cooked rice, and this was boiled up yesterday. Just put that down to number 2. The longer you leave this, the better it'll get. Bit of nutmeg on there. See, I'm not going to add any salt to that. This rice was boiled up yesterday with my chicken stir fry. Again, I live on my own, so I'm just doing it for myself, so don't mind my fingers being involved. It's the best way to break the rice up. But it was put into the fridge within about half an hour of it finished cooking, so it's absolutely fine. As long as you get it into the fridge as soon as possible. It's absolutely fine. And just make sure it doesn't catch. Should put that in a plastic container, but can't be bothered, being lazy. But it just shows that you know you can. The reheating the rice is a funny. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But it just makes tonight's dinner so much easier. Turn that off now, because all I have to do is just cook that up, and then I've got my rice already. I don't have to clean and boil and wait for rice to cook. And then tomorrow it's even simpler, because all I have to do is reheat that second portion of that. This non-stick pan is knackered anyway, so. Been really looking forward to this actually. I've been thinking about it. I really like this chicken and mushroom dish. It's only flipping 4:20. I'm going to have my dinner right now because it's so good that I've kind of gone really early with my dinner. Plate of food in a clean kitchen as always. And you know, really microwave that. I mean, that's burning hot when I touch the bottom off. It's uncomfortably hot in the bottom. So you know, you make sure you heat it right through. But that's you there. That's a nice chicken pie filling or chicken and mushroom. Chicken and mushroom in a white sauce on rice, and really moreish, really salty, really nice. The salty from just the chicken stock cube only. I did not add any salt. And okay, I think I maybe used about just over a chicken breast, maybe one and a half chicken breasts I think I put into this, and I'm getting 2 portions out of this, 2 good portions out of this, plus a handful of mushrooms. A bit more. That's that. But this is really moreish, really tasty. This, really enjoy this. But that's you, chicken and mushroom with peas on some reheated rice that you shouldn't do. But as long as you cool the rice down as soon as you cook it, you should be fine. That's done.